What's going on, everybody? So I just purchased $2,000 worth of Bitcoin yesterday, which actually turned out to be like 1960 because of a $40 Coinbase fee. So although it says $2,000, I'm kind of up like $40 right now from where I originally started after accounting for the fees. Anyways, this is my strategy. Um, I might have started, you know, I don't know whether I got in a little high or if I got in at just the right time before the bull market is about to take off. But whether the price, the price currently sits at $93,000. Um, whether the price goes up or down, I'm guaranteed to make a profit from this transaction. And I'm going to tell you why. This is my strategy. And this is how I'm going to ensure 100% that I'm going to make a profit from this transaction. The way I'm doing it is I'm basically setting a minimum sell price. So even if Bitcoin, let's say, drops in the next week down to 80,000, 70,000, 60,000, eventually I'm going to get a profit from my original investment. And that minimum profit is going to be $444. And that's because my minimum sell price is going to be 110. And so the way you can calculate exactly how much you're going to make or how much I'm going to make from this specific transaction, because I bought it at about 91,000. I put 90,000 just to make the math simpler. You can go ahead and calculate the exact percentage. 90,000 divided by 110,000, it gives you 22%. Then you do plus 1 and you get 1.22. You multiply that times the original investment of 2,000 and that will give you your final amount that you're going to end up with. This is actually I believe that's actually wrong. It's not 90,000 divided by 110,000. It's 110,000 minus 90,000. Sorry about that, guys. I fucked this up. Minus 90,000. And then you take the amount that's going to be, which in this case is going to be like 20,000, and then you divide that by 90,000, and then you plus 1. Let me use the calculator to show you this, to make sure I'm getting this right, guys, because I'm not trying to fuck anybody over with bad math. Minus 90,000, right, divided by 90,000. All right, you see that 22 repeating, plus 1. So in other words, 110 is 1.222 of 90. So you got 1.222, and then you multiply this by your minimum sell price. Oh, Christ. I accidentally multiplied it. My bad, you guys. Fucking up today. I just woke up, so excuse me. 2,000. Fucking incredible, bro. There you go. So 1.22222 times the original investment of 2,000 will get you 2,400. So I'm going to make a profit of $444. That's guaranteed. Even if the price drops, I'm holding it until I reach that minimum sell price. There's another aspect of this. It's called a minimum buy price. And the question is, how do you figure out what your minimum buy price should be? And the answer to that is basically, what is your minimum return on your investment that you want? Like in my case, I want a minimum return of investment of like 20%, right? So if Bitcoin starts skyrocketing in the next couple of weeks, and I suspect that it might top off at around 110. I'm probably just going to hold it, honestly, and then sell it at 110 and just take my $444 profit. If Bitcoin starts dropping again back into the 80s or 70,000, I'm just going to buy more, and then I'll calculate my profits at that time whenever I buy it at an even lower price. But in any case, that's kind of how you can guarantee that you're going to make a profit from this. It's not for sure that, keep in mind, like that's 110 is just my minimum buy price. Depending on how I feel at the time, I might let it go a little bit higher. And if you're curious on how I got the 110 amount, I can show you. This is the chart that I'm using. Right, this gives you an idea of a good time to buy. This is a really good time to buy. If Bitcoin is this low, it's a really good time to buy. At this time, in this area, it's a decent time to buy. And in this, it starts to become risky. And this is where, and whenever Bitcoin is in this range, it's when people tend to sell to try to make a profit. Um, you'll notice, well, the first thing you'll notice is at the top of it, right as you're just entering that range, you'll see it's currently at 110,000 or so. That's where that 110 came from, right? This is if you don't really want to take, this is if you want to get a good amount of profit, but you don't want to risk losing an opportunity to sell at the right time, right? But it could go anywhere between, 110, maybe up to 150, depending on how much risk you want to take. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is as time goes on, this upper limit actually goes up, right? It's gone up like, let me see, I think it was 100,000 at the beginning of this year. The upper limit was 100,000 in January. Now it's up to 110. And so, 3 months from now, the upper limit, let's just say that Bitcoin stabilizes or holds support at around 90,000 and it stays that way for the next few months. Keep in mind, like the upper limit right here, it might go all the way up to 120,000. And so my minimum sell price might go up, which means my original investment of $2,000 will actually yield even more returns than just $444. And I'll be able to invest more in the meantime. So I'll get more, I'll be able to stack up more Bitcoin while I'm waiting to sell, basically. But in any case, I'm guaranteed to make a profit off this because I know that if I want to make a profit, I'm going to have to hold until I meet that minimum sell price. It's just going to take a little bit of discipline and emotional regulation, essentially. But this was my first investment. I'm going to be putting some more money in soon, most likely. If it skyrockets in the next couple days, I don't want to buy Bitcoin when it's super expensive and then just kind of screw myself because I really don't want to wait forever for it to go back up to. Because if I buy it, if in the next week it skyrockets to 110, I'm not going to go ahead and buy more, right? Because then it might start plummeting. And then, I have to wait till it at a minimum reaches 110 again just to break even on that purchase. It's like, forget that. I'll just take the L. I got in a little late. But, if it holds support, I might buy some more soon. Over the long run, man, I'm trying to make like 500K over the next 5 years doing this. I need a fucking house, boys. I'm not trying to be living in an apartment for the rest of my life. And I'm also not trying to take on a freaking 30-year mortgage that's going to cost me 3 times the original house price. So I got to get this money. I'm going to be investing some more here soon. I'm going to show you my gains. There shouldn't be any losses in theory using this strategy. If you're interested in seeing where I end up with this, go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.